All right, I'm just going to continuously roll.
Yeah, you'll cut it as.
And I'll cut it.
That's cool.
So this is my friend Gavin.
Hey,
Sponsored birdie player along with your boy. And we're starting I'm starting a new thing. He's my first victim. Basically, I want to look at everyone's bag and then find things that aren't in it and see if they like my recommendations. So today, I looked at Gavin's bag and I saw a lot of neutral fairways. So I brought an FX4, an FX3, and a Ginger. I'm not sure if you've thrown or even held any of them yet.
Nope. Literally haven't held any of these.
I know you like a somewhat flippy, like 7-speed. I don't know if have you ever thrown a Stag.
No, I've heard of it though.
There you go.
Stag. Oh, that feels pretty good.
And then you have the Justice in there.
Yeah.
So I brought an A2. See how you like that.
Oh, it's chalky.
And then 2 A2s because this one's more beefy than that one, but it's got more flashing because it's Prodigy products.
Dude,
And then you have a Get Freaky.
I didn't want to say that, but it is.
This is the Distortion, which I think is the closest thing to a Get Freaky. And then also, to round it out, a Mint. And then he's a Turn fan, and the closest thing I've ever found to a Turn that's more comfortable are Waves. And these are in their fission plastic. So this one's like a bomber wave. This one, for some reason, did not flip up like crazy. And this one is like kind of flat and felt really good for forehands and backhands.
All the same plastic?
No, that's in...
This is something else. This is shiny.
Yeah, those are both fission, and that one's whatever their
This one's shiny.
standard non-opaque is. And that's all of them.
Fission.
So...
Interesting.
Just...
They feel pretty good.
Yeah, they're 11 speeds. So they're technically
11.
slightly smaller.
Interesting.
I just want to see if you like any of this.
All right, well, let's see. Start from feeling. I guess we'll go slow to fast. Start with the 4. We got 4 speeds.
Yeah, I think that's all of them.
All of them. Okay, so let's see. The best one in my hand. I got small hands. I'm also left-handed, so for all of you, pretty much everybody that's right-handed, you're all in trouble. You're all in trouble because
no, it works too because I am right-handed, so I'm like curious to how lefties generally.
All the reverse
things,
rotation. Yeah. I also power grip everything. I don't do any fan grip. I don't like that. This one, Distortion, feels a little big in my hand. Just a tiny bit, but I could see how it feels similar to my Get Freaky.
Yeah.
I really like, shout out Anthony, happy with par.
Dude, I love the Mint. I've been bagging it ever since I bought one.
Feels awesome. He let me throw, I forget what it was. Hopefully he sees this video and he can comment underneath. He let me throw one of his favorite fairways, and it wasn't the cookie, but it was something he was really liking.
Was it flippy?
Yeah, it might have been the soda.
It was 7.5, like -2.2.
Dude, it was sweet. He threw me throwing like hole 1 at Wums all the way down the hill. It felt really good.
Their plastic is very good.
Plastic, awesome. Was this a steady plastic?
Yeah.
That's sweet. No comments, Gannon Burr, on what he has to say about this, because I agree.
But
it does feel good. Like
it's a thinner zone.
It feels nice, yeah.
And it's really beefy.
For my tiny fingers, this feels really nice. So
that's
I'd
what I was
say
wondering.
feeling is this one's probably my favorite. Then Mint.
And that Mint even has flashing on it because it's one of their early runs. And this is a newer Mint, which I've been beating in like I really want to get that to be my flippy.
Now this reminds me of like almost like a smaller harp.
Yeah. It flies like that.
All right. Well, let's give these a rip.
I'm gonna move the camera behind you.
Sweet. All right. So we're going into like a head right to left. So. God, these geese are all in danger.
Yeah, I got a pretty decent headwind, but, it's fine.
That's all right. Honestly, I kind of like that better because you really get to see how a disc reacts in it. It's probably going to drift them all, I would assume. I'm going to hit one of these geese. It's going to happen. A2. Oh, 4.
Is that beefy?
That was pretty beefy. Oh, look at that.
Wow,
that was exciting.
Didn't even care.
They didn't even care. I don't know how it didn't hit them. Put that on a little hyzer, a little lower than I wanted to, but it fought that wind that was pushing it down the whole time.
I was thinking it would be closest to your Justice.
Yeah, that I would agree to. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to try to put this one a little higher, probably the same hyzer. Yeah, way higher, but still fighting against it. Yeah, that's probably similar to my A2, or I'm sorry, my Justice than a Zone.
I figured it might be more comfortable because there's no bead on it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if you liked the bead or didn't like the bead.
Bead, it's tough. I don't really mind it or not mind it. I liked it. I started with a deflector.
Yeah.
The one that Mike Rowe, the orange one that he forehand rolls all the time, that's actually mine. I gave that to him. But that was the one that I used. And
The
then I
deflector's
switched-
super beefy.
super beefy. And then I switched to a Justice, and I kind of liked it better. But I really like that A2. That's a possibility.
The A2 was like the Justice usable replacement because the deflector was just so beefy.
Yeah,
But that one, like I put on Annie and it'll fight through trees like at Stafford and stuff.
I would always underdo the deflector. I would not do it enough. Like, oh, it's still coming out that quick. This one I could actually work. Okay.
This
I
one's
like the
not going to
A2.
be stable
This one, all right. So I'm
until
assuming
the end of the flight.
So this should hyzer flip. Oh no.
Well, to be fair, I usually throw that on forehand.
That's a get freaky zone.
Yeah.
That's very similar to it. I like that. And then this is what I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, I've only thrown that once for a video.
I'm just gonna throw it pretty hard. I turned it.
Yeah.
That's smooth though. So I pulled that over, but it held it. It didn't fight back at all. It kind of just like held a pan. That's pretty sweet. Okay.
On the fairways.
Onto the fairways.
I'm actually very curious to see you throw the stag with how much you like lightweight, like 7 speeds.
Yeah, so we'll just go one time. We're just gonna go right.
It's flippy. So
all right,
put it on, especially with the headwind.
I'm gonna try to crank this to that rough over there. Hopefully, it just glides across this fairway.
Yeah, give it some
It's
like
domey for sure,
Yeah,
boys.
it's that 6 glide for sure.
Lads, it's domey. So
Give it like actual power.
I'm gonna
it's
crank.
Kind of touchy.
Another thing about lefty disc golf, he doesn't throw soft ever.
Yeah, that's flipping up and over.
And it's gone. And it has a little finish because I didn't full power it. That's pretty sweet. That's super glidey. And that threw that basically straight into where the headwind's coming from because that's directly where it's coming from. So for it to pop like that, I probably threw that.
This thing
60%
is so
power.
weird. The numbers are like 9402.
Yeah?
It's
Thunderbird numbers? Really?
It's weird. I don't.
Oh, Nico LaCastro, my boy.
I don't know how to
Welcome
describe
back.
it. Just
Nico.
throw it flat and hard and see if you like it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rip on this thing. This thing feels really good. It feels flat top, the slightest flashing maybe.
Yeah, it's
but
like their early mint stuff has flashing, unfortunately.
Feels great though. Yeah, dead straight with a nice stable finish, probably Thunderbirdish.
Yeah, it's got less glide, I'd say, than a Thunderbird.
Yeah,
But like if you put it on a lot of Annie, it'll hold the Annie and then just dump.
Yeah,
It's like a dumpy Onyx.
Yeah.
That is so. These
So
the flight
here we go.
numbers.
So Prodigy always so weird.
Gannon literally said, I was like, the FX4 doesn't fly anything like the flight numbers. And he was like, yeah, isn't it awesome? I said, no, Gannon, I wanted a hyzer flip disc. So you put that on like any angle and it will hold it for a while.
Interesting.
That thing is I think this is flippier than that. But I've only thrown the FX4 like 3 or 4 times.
All right,
This
so
is like a...
So numbers,
like,
what I'm getting is like a 9-speed Leopard, supposed to be a 9-speed Leopard 3, supposed to be. Numbers aren't real.
The numbers
if
for
anybody
these
didn't know. And this is supposed to be like a CD2, if anybody threw Old Discmania. It's pretty close
I
to
love
that.
this disc.
So, almost a Valkyrie, but not a Valkyrie.
I think it feels better than the FX4.
We're going to start with the FX3.
Somewhat similar flights.
All right. Again, we're going to try to... Oh, the wind died. We're going to go now. Oh, we got a good rip on this one. We're going to see it. Okay.
It's a laser beam.
All right. So that's like a CD2, which is like a 9.5 -1.2.
The reason these discs don't have flashing is because they're their first Chinese runs. So
When
China
did they first make their disc?
China started making their discs like a year ago.
Interesting.
Whenever the FX4 came out, it had a made in China sticker, and it feels identical to the FX3, which came out before it. So I'm assuming everything that's new from Prodigy is Chinese. And that's why their prices dropped $3, because they're saving so much on manufacturing now.
That makes sense. Well, assuming I throw it the same way, it should finish more left based on the numbers, but we'll see. Oh, I yanked it. Oh, it would though. Look, it's flippy.
Look at that thing.
Look,
hold.
it did it. It did it. Cool.
Prodigy.
Negative
2-1. Negative 2-1.
Even with the yank, it still would. If I would have yanked that straight, it would have finished left of that other disc. So the numbers were true there when I yanked it hard. But I definitely threw those harder than like a 9-speed should be thrown probably. Here we go. These should be fun. I'm excited to throw waves.
I would say green, pink, and then the dyed one as far as like
Perfect.
Flippy to overstable.
Then we'll start. Let's start in the middle.
And this is their fission plastic, which the owner says is their bomber plastic. That's why
This
I
would
bought
be the
that.
plastic. Correct me if I'm wrong. That like people want the Haley, the what's her name, photons.
The
God, people are
photons,
gonna
yeah.
get crucified.
Everyone wants the fission photon.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm gonna get crucified.
I gave
for
mine
not knowing
to
her name. I'm sorry.
Mr. Delaware Disc Golfer himself.
Elaine King. I know her name. Everybody don't kill me. This feels really good. It has a little pop to it, dude. The gyro feels so interesting, MVP. You guys are interesting.
Is that like your turns?
That's probably like, that's a touch stabler than my turns, I'd say.
Okay.
Now, it wouldn't, I think my turns would hold the left a little longer, but other than that, pretty identical in flight. This is the bomber one. This is the one I want to see. That could be like my tie-dye turn.
There's only 5 gram weight difference between those two.
Now what's crazy to me, everybody, is these are all like these are all below 170. All the turns I throw are definitely max weight, which I'm finding out. If you're an AM, like all of us are, stop throwing max weight.
Especially for distance drivers.
The bomber himself, David Wiggins, in a podcast, I don't know where that is. I should find that. If you ever find it, you should clip it and put it in there. But he throws like 170s and 171s. If that dude has the distance record and he's only throwing those, why are we throwing max weight?
The Jeremy Coling bosses were bombers, and they're like 160, but since they're Halo, they're still beefy. It was a really incredible disc.
See, cheat codes, boys. Lightweight, but just get the beefy plastic. It evens everything out. So this thing's 168. So let's see what this really does. Oh yeah, let's burn it into the ground. Oh, that's a good roller. That's a good roller, boys.
That's all, right?
Damn, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Start stacking them. So which ones
All right.
did you fall in love with anything?
All right. So straight out of my first throw, fall in love with? No, I didn't fall in love with anything. I will be honest. What did I enjoy throwing through these things? I'll stand up camera once I figure it out.
That guy got you with the magic of editing.
Hi, handsome. Here we go. All right, so we'll be honest on it. This thing felt really cool. I'm not a big Prodigy guy, I'll be honest. Sorry, Prodigy, but I really like this thing. This thing popped up, and I grip locked it a little bit, but its flight was sweet. It popped up, rode left, and still had a little finish, so the numbers are true. I don't know if it's just this particular one, but I really like that. This is pretty close to a Justice. I enjoy this, but we'd have to make a decision. You're right about the bead thing, so that's the difference. I have to figure out if I'm a bead guy or not a bead guy. That's the difference.
It is a thinner zone and more overstable.
Yep.
It's
so,
interesting.
Decision to make, but I like the flight of it. Still in love with this plastic. Definitely, I think it's definitely flippier than I think it is. It's definitely, numbers might be lying there a little bit. I yanked this one a little bit, but the way it held its ante, it didn't want to fight out of it. So I think this might be one of those like Luna type number deals, but not that ridiculous. Distance drivers, this thing's sweet. This is like a Thunderbird. This thing rips.
The ginger.
Yeah, if anybody wants something like that and you don't want to throw a Thunderbird, you should get one of these.
And they have the Spice coming out too.
Yeah, that's is that Eric Oakley?
I'm assuming it's going to be just like a Sexton Firebird.
That's what I heard.
But his, so they did the Proto run, and then they're having Eric Oakley run, and it's like $29 for a disc.
Really?
And I'm just not spending $29 for a disc.
Not if it's not a Sexton Firebird. All right, well, let's go back through them. We're going to start slow again and show how far I really can't throw. All right, so he said it's like 390 from the camera, so I'm going to move up at least like 40 feet because I can't.
You don't have to hit the bags.
That's my aiming. I'm trying to give myself a full check. This is also my field work, guys. Fun fact, Gavin, lefty disc golf, doesn't do field work. but I should. I just don't. I just like coming here and just shooting really bad. All right, so distortion. I forget how this flow. Oh, kind of stable, kind of like a zone.
Yeah, kind of stable.
So we're gonna go straight hyzer. It's gonna be short, but that's the line. Ooh, good line.
It was just not torque resistant enough
It's
for
not.
forehands.
That's what I'm gonna do with a few of these. I'm gonna throw a few of these on forehand. Nobody judge me. I'm even gonna give them a little. I'm just gonna throw them hard to see how they react. All right, so that was good because I normally turn my wrist over, so the fact that fought back, that means that those things are stable like a Justice. That was the pink A2. Sorry, I should be telling these things. White
I like that
one.
A2 because it's softer.
Yeah, this one's softer, has some chalk to it. It feels good. I feel like Nico Castro would like this thing. Oh, Gavin, there's the one we want, boys. So that's what you call elbow up. That's how you hurt yourself, though.
I also ended like dead up vertical.
I know that's what happens sometimes when I throw it really hard. We're gonna try to control this one. This one, I have a feeling will turn over. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Look, there it goes. But it still finishes, so it's not like complete. It's not understable. It's not like a Luna, but it's definitely flippier than all the other ones. Okay, that was cool.
That's gonna be my jawbreaker zone replacement.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so if you're looking for like a touchier zone, my buddy beat in like a Z Sparkle one, and that's what he uses for that slot. I forget which one it was. I think it was 2021 Ledgestone. Let's go with friggin' Stag, dude. This thing's sick. I'm gonna see if I can hold a hyzer with this and see how the glide really comes into play. And just glide. Yep. That's smooth, dead straight off the hyzer. That thing's nice. I like the Stag. Second throw now, I'm liking that thing.
I think the Stag's like super underrated. No one talks about him. No one throws him. No one sees him.
Yeah, everybody stop hating on the trilogy. Get on. You should try a Stag.
There's some gems.
There's a few of them. I'll tell you. That's one of them. That's a good one. Shield is a putter. Shout out Jordan Windward. What else is good? Like, dude, you always love a good judge.
I threw the Warhorse 350 feet at
Good
the
Lord.
at the that tournament on Ivy Hills, and it skipped 100 feet.
Really?
It skipped 100 feet.
No
It wasn't because it was a ball golf course, so it was like golf grass. It was insane.
Well, good Lord.
Landed in a sand trap, made the putt for par.
Jesus. All right, FX. This is the 3, so this is the one that's a little more stable. I'm trying to give it maybe a little Annie.
I think it's like a seasoned Thunderbird.
And just pan a little bit. Yep. That's perfect. That's like, yeah, just like a Thunderbird. I'm gonna try to throw this on the same one. I imagine it'll fight out just a bit quicker. This would be the Ginger, because this thing's a little more stable than that. That's what I assume.
Oh, that held that whole time.
No, that was pretty identical. Interesting. Those were pretty identical. FX3 and Ginger, almost identical flight on that. What's up, guys? Go, go, go. All right, this thing, Flippy. Oh, here we go. Appreciate.
They're already in their V
Look at it.
formation.
Nature
That one pooped.
appreciation. One just pooped. Not nature appreciation moment. FX4 with the geese. Here we go. Hyzer flip. No, Hyzer. Oh, the wind's pushing on my back. Interesting. Completely different flight from
That
the
went
last.
far.
That went really far. That's probably almost bag high, which would have been like 360, 370. All right, here we go. Let's really start throwing. I'm missing
We're
one.
missing one.
I do too. I think it's half the game. I think that this is even how pros get excited again. It's how AB and Simon, all of them, are now going to be really good this year because they're just happy. All right, so we're throwing them the same way. So we're going medium, flippy, stable. And I'm going to try to get past the bags, but I don't throw far. Oh, that one maybe. Oh, it didn't even flip. Now, I didn't even talk about the wind. The wind's pushing left to right now because we just flipped directions, so it will hold my hyzer. Like, it won't let him flip up.
Oh.
Except for this one. I assume this thing's still gonna pop over.
Flip it, boy.
Yeah. popped over immediately.
It's
I
just
give
funny
it a good
that
snap.
like you have 3 completely different flights.
It's nuts. It's awesome. I love it. Here we go. Let's see what this one I'm interested in, because I don't know how this one's going to react. Oh, you yanked it. It still turns, though. It's going to cut back. Come on. Go, go, go. Yeah, she's in the fairway. We're good. All right, interesting.
You want to throw any of these?
Yeah, I'll throw one of these for the camera. Oh, well, I'll let him see what the turn looks like. So he was trying to replace, so those distance drivers that I threw was trying to replace this thing. Or not replace it, but
just see if
complement
it complements it, fits better in the hand.
We got a halo turn, I have a flippy turn. I'll throw both of them. So this is the halo one. I use this for pretty much max distance if I can. Yeah.
Yep.
See, I don't know why, but the turns, some discs just feel good in your hand. So if they do, just get a bunch of them. Bing. Both about the same distance, but for some reason those are really controllable. But the waves did feel similar, but I don't know. So for the distance drivers, turns are just too, I don't know. If you haven't tried a turn, if you haven't thrown turns, me and Dan were just talking about this, you should try a turn.
I really do think
if you're not Eagle McMahon,
turns
you
and
don't throw
Zeus's
really far.
and salts are like the
They're pretty
whatever.
awesome.
Like,
if you don't want to be like throwing your arm out or your back out or any of that, and you just don't throw that far, you should get some turns. In any plastics, you should just try one because they're really good. But the mids were awesome. I really liked the mids. Thought they were pretty good. A2 specifically. What was the mint? What was it?
There's
A2s. Was it a mint?
Mint is for the Clash.
The mint felt really good. Flippy. Very flip. Not like super flippy, but definitely a useful disc. Probably really good in the woods. A2, like a Justice. But yeah, pretty awesome. I really liked it.
All right, guys. Just got back from finishing that video. I forgot to do an outro. Thanks to Gavin for taking part. If you like it, if you have any critiques, it's kind of long, but it's super informative and it's fun to talk about plastic. If you like plastic as much as I like plastic, I think you'll like the video. With that, I will see you next time.